Hello? Guys, can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me? Hi, Dr. Rita. I can't hear you. Can you hear me, Dr. Rita? Why can't I hear you? Yeah. Yes, now I can hear you. Hi,
Yeah.
Dr. Rita. The technical glitches are so much that you're always
Yeah. So
running.
we all are learning, you know. So today I have
Yeah.
learned a lot from you. Thanks for, educating me.
Oh, we need to learn a lot. I'm sure all our
Yeah.
listeners are really eager to hear from you. So those who
Yeah.
don't know, Dr. Rita has got 18 years of work experience in clinical and medical field, and she has worked with NACO, she has worked with Ministry of Health and Welfare and WHO. So we are all very much familiar with WHO name these days. Before pre-COVID, I'm sure not we might not have been that familiar, but now, oh yeah, even my 5-year-old son knows about what WHO now. He's familiar
Yeah. So
WHO.
COVID have actually brought the focus back to health, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the maybe in all this bleak thing, you can see some kind of a lightning, you know.
yeah, I'm sure. So you have an immense knowledge about sexuality, health, and adolescent. And today's topic, a lot of the parents are definitely waiting to hear and take some good tips about you. And I'm sure, like me, many parents who have teenage kids do face these issues and would love to hear from you. To begin with, as a parent, how and when should I start talking about HIV, sex education with my child? At what age and how should I talk about it? Because it's such a sensitive topic. But then I'm sure you have more than any of us who can talk. You're the best to talk about it.
Yeah, Komal, I think first of all, let me tell you, I think this is a difficult topic, and as a parent, we all hesitate, and this is not in Indian society. It's not easy for a parent to broach this topic, and I have my two kids, and it's actually I can understand how the parents feel. But absolutely, I think some of them may be also shocked when I say that you have to start talking about giving safe sex and sexual education very early in life. And as per WHO, we say the age of adolescence is from 9 to 19 years of age. And as soon as they start hitting this adolescence, somewhere around 8 and 9 years, it may vary with the maturity of people, kids, but I think this is the time when children have so much of exposure. And COVID time, everybody is on to the internet, they are learning using tablets, laptop. So it's good that we should start talking about broaching this subject about, may not be about HIV, but at least about sex, sexuality, early gender, early in life, as early as 8 to 9, because kids are very curious. Kids are many times accidentally they get into those kind of link, and then they explore, and then they will have all kind of a different notion about all this thing. So as a parent, it's good to broach this subject early in life. So that is why that is my advice, that broach this early, break it into step by step. You don't have to go everything in a go. So broach it in a bit by bit way, so that the child understands it. And I think as soon as they, when you're talking about different aspect of it, you will know them as they are grasping. So the whole thing about HIV, also sometime you'll have to talk about what is safe sex, and why we have to have that right kind of knowledge about sex and
So, yeah,
sexuality.
so why do we not have, like, do you suggest that we should have safe sex knowledge as age appropriate, or rather
Yeah.
age appropriate safe sex knowledge, which we definitely do not talk as an Indian community. We do not believe in talking to our kids, and you do suggest that to it. So how should we exactly be approaching it? About the age, say about, do you suggest that what we talk to a child who is 8 year old will be different in an approach to talk to us about the safe sex to a child who is 12-year-old, and then it should go a bit more into the 15-year-old?
Absolutely, absolutely, Komal. I think you have actually brought the very important fact. Like, it has to be age appropriate. So when you broach the subject at 8, so it has to be very appropriate to the child's age, because at that age child might be curious, but he does not have that kind of a complete understanding. So you will have to break it into it. So as the child matures, you have to have that kind of
We lost you. We have lost you somewhere. So, guys, you can pour in your questions. I'm sure Dr. Rita, who has so much of knowledge about sexuality and education related to especially adolescents, will be able to answer to it soon. And do pour in your questions. She has some issues in regards to her connection. technical glitches, we talk about it. She has got some technical glitch, and I'm hoping that she will be back again. She'll be joining in again. In the meanwhile, do let me know the questions that you do have specific, as the topic was going on about sexuality related to age appropriate. And age appropriate sexual education is what the topic that we were discussing. If any of you guys have any inputs in those regards. Also, we are here. Dr. Rita is again, and we will request her to come and join in. Okay. Yep.
Hello.
So, yeah, the line got disconnected.
Yeah.
Another
So
thing.
sorry. Yeah.
So we were talking about the age appropriate sexual education. So that's where we got disconnected.
Yes.
Hello?
So I was
Yeah.
just saying, so it has to be, you have to break it into, for what is appropriate for 8 years, what is appropriate for 9 years, 10 years, 11 and 12. So it's a continuous process, and it cannot be done in a one go. So, and many parents ask, whether they should use as a teacher or a counselor to broach the subject. But I always suggest that it is always best for the parents to start this conversation, initiate this conversation, because that actually increases lot of closeness among this thing. And even in later life, and whenever they have any issues related to their sex, gender, or anything, they will come back to you with very clear questions, and they should be doing it.
Absolutely. That's the parents should always be the one. And I do agree that as a parent, we have to talk about it. A teacher may start the topic, but it's ultimately the parent who has to really go along with the child for every year and make the child understand about these topics. So if we go about it, there are certain topics that really comes to the mind, like for a teenager kids, masturbation, for that example. Indian community or Indian society, again, if we go back, we are not really ready about to talk about it. And how should we be approaching about it? There are some views, like the extreme views that comes about it. One view that I have personally read is that it's all right, and it's something that a child should be able to explore with her own sexuality. On the other hand, there is another thing that you are making the child promiscuous, which is another extreme, that if you're allowing the child to masturbate or allowing the child to talk about the sex education, it's something that you're spoiling the society. So how should we actually be approaching about it in a medical or a better manner, doctor?
So I think masturbation I think parent have to understand this, that it's an absolutely normal process, and it's also a part of, growing up as an adolescent. So it should not be associated that if your child is masturbating, I mean, is something he should be ashamed of, or she should be ashamed of. It's a normal growing up process. And many times they think it's also some kind of a, maybe sign of, I don't know, precocious puberty, or the child is uh, or going in some direction or something. But there's nothing. This is totally, even medically or physically, it's actually normal. And they should not be associated with any kind of pressure from parents on children, or they should not be scolding them or putting them to shame because of this factor. So that is one thing which we want to, and I think that your child will also feel very normal about it, and it's a part of growing up process. So this is my advice.
I'm sure. But this also comes to the link like porn. So if we are, porn is something again which is a topic where we have to make the child understand that it's not good. The porn which is shown is something which is more like, as one of this is more barbaric or whatever, the consequences of it on the child who has not really explored the sexual aspect, the physically, the porn really gives a wrong impression about the sex, and it does de-objectify women, as mentioned. Do you agree onto it? And what are your
Yeah.
opinion about?
Yeah, completely agree with you, Komal. I think that's why we say that, you should start giving right kind of sex, gender education very early in age. So that, many time children like 80 to 85%, they accidentally get into some link and then it takes them to some link and another, then they are into this kind of site. When it may lead to, some kind of a different opinion, some kind of a different thinking about their own body image or body image of or opinion about opposite sex or something. So uh, I mean, as a parent, as much precaution you can take, it's advisable, but we all know, it may be sometimes whatever you do, it may not be complete. So I think the best thing is to talk to your kids and tell them ki if you do even get somewhere accidentally, not to watch them, uh, so
Agree.
so the right kind of approach is also like them start giving right kind of knowledge. You as a parent are it should be the source of information rather than these kind of sites or peers or somebody. So that's
Exactly.
my advice.
It brings back to the same thing that please
Yeah,
start the sex education in an age appropriate manner at the right time
right, right.
if we want this thing. Super.
Yeah.
So if we just move away from this topic and like if we talk about certain things, I have received personally, and I was also very shocked from a girl an email that she must be somewhere around 16 to 18 because that's what I could gauge when I spoke to her. She said me that her boyfriend is not ready to use a condom. Firstly, I don't know whether there are legal age related sex issues in India. Are we there? Because I know US has this thing about age issues in related to the sex. In India, do we have it something like that which we can talk about it? Secondly, yes, I was shocked that this girl was like, okay, I want to use a condom. I don't want to get into the birth control pill, or I don't want to take an emergency contraceptive pill, but my boyfriend is not ready to use a condom. How do you suggest that she should approach this topic or convince her boyfriend to use a condom?
So Komal, actually, I have also taken some classes for schools in some schools about gender and sexuality, and this question was actually asked by me, uh, by some of the students. So so my I mean actually many of them asked what is the right age for sex. So see, we all know there is in India you have a rape law and all that are there, but you have to make your child understand that puberty and adolescence, beginning of that, it may not be the right age for sex also, so your body has to be not only physically ready at puberty, or you are just physically ready, but you're not emotionally or mentally ready for kind of a
How
sexual relationship, so
very
that
apt.
readiness also is required, and that readiness comes with age, maturity, lot of other thing. So
And how just on this before we go.
hmm,
So how do we explain to the child that how are you ready? And if a child comes up and says that the peer pressure, as we talk about in India,
hmm,
it's
hmm.
so developed. So if a child comes and talk to you about that, the peer pressure is happening, and I just so how do we talk to the child about the emotional readiness along with the physical readiness?
So you will have to ask, like, sex is uh, that emotional ready, are the child is what could be the uh, consequences. It is better to have a planned sex than, like, in unplanned. So because there are lot many consequences of having unplanned sex, when you're saying, they don't even know the safe methods and what could be the negotiation skills, what is safe
Mm-hmm.
sex. So if in any, for boys or girls, they don't know what could be the consequences of having unplanned, unsafe sex. That
Yes.
also is one thing, as an if when you do is education, you have to provide them all the thing, so it's a, if you do go get into sex just because you are under peer pressure, there could be chances of an unwanted pregnancy, there could be chances of a sexually
Absolutely.
transmitted illnesses, and there could be also, like, HIV. So there are a lot many things. And having a emotional trauma at early in age may also, have their effect on their sexual health later in life. So I think that emotional maturity is a must, and that is something as a parent we'll have to guide our children. That it's also about a lot about how much do you think that relationship matters to you? Are you in a state of emotional or uh, maturity that you can take that relationship seriously and planning to move forward in life? So there could be so many things, your ambition, your career, your growth in life. Does that matter to you, or are you able to take this along with it? So I think that open conversation has to happen. And I'm sure, I think once they know what could be the consequences if you do not have that kind of an understanding about sex, and it may affect their future life. So the kids
Absolutely,
understand.
absolutely, absolutely. So now coming back to that question, this is very, very, very good information, Dr. Rita, to make the child understand about the adolescent, basically understand that what should be the right age, and how when you're emotionally ready, more than the physically ready, it's the time to have sex rather
True.
than on the peer pressure. So
True.
again, coming back to the question that we started about how to convince them, how does this girl convinces the boyfriend about using a condom when she says that she doesn't want to use an emergency contraceptive pill or even the birth control pill? How to convince, or how to put the foot down that
So we
maybe.
always talk about, building the agency of the girls and, women, in generally, that negotiation skills, they as a girl, she should be able to say no for unsafe sex. I think that is also building that confidence level, and giving that right kind of education to the girls, and not only to the girls. I think it's the onus of putting safe sex is not only in the girls. The right kind of education also has to go to the boys, and uh, that's does a lot of shift, because mostly that using contraception in Indian society is considered to be something which the girl or a woman has to use. So it's also about engaging men, engaging boys in this conversation about what is their responsibility as a, mature or equal partner in any relationship. So it's an equal thing, and they have to also understand, that consequences is mutual, and it's not only one sided. So I think that's the kind of lesson I'll say. The girls also have to have that agency to speak, and engagement with boys and men onto this entire thing of contraception. Why is it important? And their responsibility is much more higher in for it. And I mean,
So
that's much needed conversation.
are there any institutions who are talking about it? Because I'm sure the government level there was supposed to be a talk about sexual education, but then it has been
So I
again.
think there was a Rashtriya Kishori Suraksha Karyakram,
Mhm,
RKSK, which was launched by Government of India.
mhm.
So it had component of adolescent friendly clinics. It had component of having this formation of peer group with adolescents, where you can actually talk safe about various other things, including safe sex. So it was about substance abuse, mental health, and right kind of sexual education among adolescent. I think ICDS also started with Sabla program more for adolescent girls. It had a bit component of safe sex. But I think most vulnerable population could be, among urban, semi-urban area, where you have all kind of population. You have people who migrate and come. The kids may be migrating with parents or without parents for job or something, may be very early in age. So reaching out to them is a huge challenge, because that's a, is a population in, India is a, if you look at the demography, most of your population lies in this adolescent to young adult age group. So in that age group, if you do not give safe education, and do not use this demographic dividend very well, the country will not progress in right direction. So I think as everyone, as an NGO, as a media person, everyone has that responsibility, and I think it can start from from parents first, as a family,
Parent of both the boys and girls,
girls. Yeah.
definitely both. So
Yeah. So I
definitely
think
need to talk
parents
about.
of boys have more responsibility, I always say, because in India, we always try to see things more from a one-sided, girls, and how we bring up the boys has much more now to add to the society because of various incidents you see in every day in print or electronic media. So I think that needs a shift in our thinking, how
Like
we
as
as a
someone has
society thinks.
mentioned that advertising industry need to be intelligently strategic. Yes, because advertising industry also needs to, it's time that men also needs to be influenced about sexual education, and the gender neutrality has to come somewhere.
Yeah.
And let's just begin at home with the parents talking about it to the kids.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful
Yeah.
message with which I guess we can end this topic. And
Yeah.
it was lovely having you and talking to you, Dr. Rita. Awesome
Thank you.
messages, awesome information. And with that line, let's just talk about it. Let's just bring the gender neutrality. Let's talk about the sex education from our home to our kids. As a parent, it's our responsibility. The onus is on us to bring a shift into the change into the cultural of society of India. Do you agree?
Thank you, Komal. I totally agree
Thank
with you. This small step by us will definitely make a change in society.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Rita. Thank you,
Thank
listeners.
you.
Lovely
Bye
hosting you.
bye.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Thank you everyone for listening to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.